Hello my friends, this is David Ha'ivri. We are now at the Lion's Gate, which is on the eastern side of the walls, the Ottoman walls of the Old City of Jerusalem. We're going to take a walk from here through the Muslim quarter on the eastern and northern side of the Old City and walk towards the center of town. Just to take a look and enjoy the area that we're in now. We'll take a look at the map that the municipality has placed here. Here you can see, posted on the wall, a nice map of the Old City of Jerusalem, and we can come closer and see, typically there's a yellow dot. It shows us where we are. See, it says the Lion's Gate, and that is the northern side of the Temple Mount, and it's the eastern side of the Old City of Jerusalem. Just to the south of us is the entrance to the Islamic cemetery, which is on the eastern side of the Ottoman walls. We see the Ottoman walls around us. These walls were built 500 years ago by the Ottoman Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. Here we can see some of the graves up on the top and the Mount of Olives. Here we can see a sign commemorating Mota Gur, who was the commander of the paratrooper brigade which liberated Jerusalem in June 1967. And this is the Lion's Gate Road. Notice on top of the gate the emblems of lions, which are actually leopards. And see the huge doors of the Lion's Gate, which were closed at night up until the end of the 19th century. Notice that only residents have permission to enter with cars. This is the Sabil, the public water fountain that was functional in the 19th century to provide drinking water to visitors and residents. Here we see that this is the Lion's Gate Street. And here we can see, like at the new gate, these barriers that says authorized vehicles only. Only residents and service providers are allowed past this barrier. Here we can see that there's a parking area which is private. People who have permission to park here are allowed into this parking area. And here is a little park and waiting area for Christian groups who come to walk along the Via Dolorosa. And you can see signs noting all of the 14 stations of the Via Dolorosa. We'll pass by 2 of them, which are on this road a little further up, and then the rest are in other locations throughout the Old City. Here we can see a sign that tells about the Via Dolorosa. Here is another of the entrances to the Temple Mount, Bab Chuta. And here at Bab Chuta there are also public restrooms. And here at Faisal Street, we have another entrance into the Temple Mount, the Faisal Gate. Herod's Gate ascent. If we walk up this, we will reach the Herod's Gate. We are walking along the Lion's Gate road. Notice that we have not climbed up any steps. So although the street is paved in stone, still it is accessible for people on wheels, be it wheelchairs or baby strollers. Here we see the Nuns' Ascent. Ahead of us we can see the tower of the San Salvador, the Franciscan monastery. The clock tower sticking up on the top ahead of us, which is in the Christian Quarter, not far from the New Gate. And here the road becomes Via de la Rosa. We actually passed by 2 stations without noting, but we'll do a separate tour specifically for that. We are now walking north on El Wad, Hagai Street, towards the Damascus Gate. Notice again that we have not walked up any steps. All of this is accessible.
حلو 10 حياي 10 سمسم 10 علبة سنيكرز ب10
اعطيني واحدة من عندك هذا الوان الظرف هذا 500 بس. ايوه اعطيني واحدة من اللي هو.
And here I'm going to choose the left side, which again is not steps but rather ramps, and you can push wheels. We came down here on the previous tour from the Damascus Gate to the Western Wall, and now we're walking to the Damascus Gate, which is right ahead of us. This is the Damascus Gate. Like most of the ancient gates of the old city of Jerusalem, this gate has a 90-degree turn. It actually has two. This gate has two 90-degree turns. So we're walking in straight, and then we're going to turn 90 degrees to the left. And then we're going to turn 90 degrees to the right again. Now notice these huge doors that were actually used until the 19th century, till the end of the 19th century, to close the gates of the old city of Jerusalem at night. And here you can see that we come out of the gate. We're at a much lower level than the street above, so we need to climb up all of these steps. And if we were pushing a wheelchair or a stroller, we would walk up this way and avoid the steps. which way to go. I haven't turned or gone straight yet. You still have time to suggest. Today I'm going to, now I've decided, I'm going to walk up Hanevi'im Street. Watch the pigeons. That was pretty neat. We succeeded in walking through without causing too much commotion with the pigeons. I didn't realize that there was a shared taxi station here for Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, at the Damascus Gate. That's interesting to know. Here we're facing the center. You can see the Russian church in the Russian compound and the new Bezalel University's building. We see the train crossing at the Damascus Gate train station. One going north, one going south.